So back with the story. There you two are. How did it go with Snape? It went alright. I get the feeling that it's not an expert in overcoming past trauma. But Beatrix made plenty of progress on her own. Not entirely on my own. Darkos was there every step of the way. He helped me see that I could move on from my experience without letting go of who I had become. And your nightmare about the giant squid helped me to see something too. We haven't done enough to prepare for the dangers that may lie beneath the Black Lake. If that's where the Final Coast Vault is located, is that why you call this meeting? It is. We are at our best when we are all working together. Everyone listen up. It's time we moved forward with finding the Final Coast Vault. It seems very likely that it's located in the Black Lake, so we'll need to be prepared for what the lake throws at us. I agree with Bonby. I'm afraid the more people will get spooked if too many of us enter the territory. We all know Grendeloos are dangerous, but we can't say for sure whether the giant squid poses a threat. And we still don't know how best to combat the Grindelows if the need arises. We are still in the dark. What we need right now is an expert opinion. Let's go have a word with Professor Kettlebone. Hello there, my young creature experts. If you're here to play with the bowtruckles, I'm afraid you're too late. Your classmate Alonzo came by earlier and they all ran off. We wanted to ask you about creatures in the lake, Professor, the Black Lake specifically. I appreciate a clear communication. What would you like to know about the lake trail and friends? Which of the lake creatures is the most dangerous? I wouldn't want to make the giant squid angry, but it has such a sweet disposition. I'm sure I could. Not sure I could. What's been going on with the Grindelows? If it isn't the bow chocolate charmer herself. It wasn't on purpose. The little fellows can't seem to get enough of me. Are you saying I smell like dragon dung? I didn't mean it like that, Alonzo. I'll forgive you if you can help get these bow chuckles to stop following me. I'll go fetch them, and you can answer Doc Host's little question. I hear they have been acting strangely. Care to share what you have? Appreciate the information, but why can't you tell me what's gotten into the Grendelows so angry? Has this got something to do with that group you mentioned a while back? Was it called again the Circle of... No, it's got nothing to do with that. To support each other after Warren's death, remember? You know, if you're looking to learn more about the Black Lake's creatures, you might consider reading up on them. Books can't beat first-hand experience, but in this case, I'd recommend you keep your hands far away from the lake. Would the library be a good place to start? Perhaps not. I was borrowing most of the library's stocks of creature books. During salamander breeding season, they are mostly ash now, not very informative. I'm off to Flourish and Blots then, but first I'll need some research assistance to help me out. Thanks for coming to research the Black Lake with me. Of course, silent, sustained regarding is my preferred way to help the Circle Kahana. Seems I picked the right people for the job. Hello there, my books have missed you. I missed them too. Do you have anything on the magical creatures in the Black Lake? as an ecosystem is rather unique to the Wisdom world. Not so harmonious these days, I'm afraid. The Grindeloos have been more aggressive than usual lately. Peace never lasts. Of course not. Conflict will always be a part of nature. It's unnatural, and I'm proud to be whatever that makes me. Are you sure you three aren't looking for a book on philosophy? You may enjoy that more. Hundreds, I'll go get them for you. God damn. Well, looks like we've got a lot of reading to do. Together, yes, that. Find anything interesting? Loads, but nothing relevant to the Black Lake. I suppose that's a rather specific topic. Maybe something relevant in here. This book's all about things that are both uncommonly large and usually dangerous. Even has a section on spells. How big can spells get? They must be pretty big to only mention here. Much on the Black Lake, the author says the giant squid is pleasantly large, but disappointingly docile. Granules are too small to warrant a mention. This is interesting. There's a whole page on the Wampin Willow. It's big and dangerous. It's just not just included for the obvious reasons. Look at this part here. Message exchange center for one of the largest stock organizations in the world. And which evil organizations could be the author be referring to? I'm sure R is one of them. We know they are active at Hogwarts after all, but we shouldn't jump to any conclusions yet. This requires further investigation. I know just a person, but they are not in the Circle Kahana. Alonza, students from Castle Bonxo are particularly well versed in magical flora and fauna. Could you let us know what you find out? Perhaps I can arrange to meet Alonza at the Three Broomstick. Thanks for meeting me. Of course, I was just wondering what I'd do with the rest of my day. Was I able to lure them away from you? It turns out they were woodlice. They like woodlice even more than they like me. Being followed everywhere by bow truckles isn't as fun as I may think. What did you want to ask about? I was wondering what you know about the Wampin Willow. Or come to me about that. I'm curious why you thought of me. If bull truckles were any indications, you are more connected with nature than most people I know. I can't say I know much about your willow. We don't have any of those where I'm from. Did you want to talk about anything else, or are you just fishing for information? This has something to do with your Circle Kahana. Didn't I say I'd be the one to distract you from all of that? Let's talk about something more cheerful. Where to begin? I have been on all sorts of adventures since coming here. Let me tell you about them. It sounds like you have been busy. I wish I could have helped Diego with your dueling lessons. You'll have to tell me more about your Felix Felicius adventure sometime. I can't give away all my secrets at once, can I? The story can be one to look forward to. Sometimes I envy you. I can't remember the last time I had a day to just enjoy myself. What's stopping you from doing that? I just can't. Any time I spend having fun is time Wakepick spends getting closer to the next coast vault. Has something to do with Wakepick, does it? Why don't you ask Professor Sprout, or is this circle business only? I don't want to arouse any suspicion. I think I also hold arouse. Both are fit descriptors for our darkly seductive sound. Must have been regaling Alonzo with the story of that legendary night. Went the heavens asunder with the sonic scream unlike anything ever heard at Hogwarts. You had played the show with the Weird Sisters, provided just the inspiration we needed to reach the new depths. It's only gotten more coast since then. Perhaps it's time for a reunion tour. But the beer, what else? Tough though a chance to while away the hours in conversation with our Castle Broxian friend would not go amiss. We had lunch together in the Great Hall not too long ago. I'm headed back to Hogwarts for herbology class. So what'd you find out? Chiara told us you were looking into the Wampin Willow. Not really, they don't have Wampin Willows in Castle LeBlanc, so perhaps we should have looked into that before asking her. She already knows about the circle anyway. And just what are you all gossiping about over here? We were discussing the Wampin Willow. Color me impressed, it does stick in the memory, doesn't it? I was wondering whether we could perhaps review it today. What about the bumps, the bruises? Surely you aren't keen to review those. I've never had a student ask to repeat that particular lesson. Why are you so interested? Because repetition is the key to mastery. If I ever need to handle a Wampin Willow, I'll need more than one lesson's worth of experience. But you have a point, a review of the material could be invaluable. Doing all that again, not everyone in this class is rubbish at taking notes. So there was no way we could approach the willow safely. It'll root us regardless, and that's all you need to know about it. I advise you all to stay far away from that willow. No need to go poking and prodding at it. Just a moment, I think I see Fox tapping my window. One of my windows anyways. I have a message from Dumbledore for you. He'd like to see you in his office immediately. It's about something called the Circle Kahana. Uh-oh, we have been rumbled. I don't know what this is all about, but you'd better get off to Dumbledore's office. Post haste. I'm at 29 of the 46. Jesus, still a long way to go. You two will call up here too. I just fancy a stroll up to the office. Of course we got called up. It seems Dumbledore found out about our secret organization. You won't be expelled. I'll take the blame for all of it. Don't be a prat. Dumbledore already knows we're in on this together. Serves me right for joining up with you two. I regret nothing. Would you have done anything differently? I'm proud of what we have done, and what's that exactly? From where I'm standing, it doesn't look like much. Speaking of which, what did you learn about the creature in the Black Lake? How so? Supposedly it's used by evil organizations to exchange messages, so I started asking around about the willow. Alonzo wasn't familiar with it, and all I got out of a spout was confirmation that it's incredibly dangerous. We won't have to approach it, seeing as we are about to get expelled. I have heard so much about. How did you find out? Nothing transpires at Hogwarts without my knowing. Very well then, we are ready to face the consequences. A group focused on helping you and your friends cope with your grief is exactly what Hargood needs right now. Hope that you continue with your work and resist the temptation to seek revenge. After all, that is what the Circle Kahana is about, healing rather than vengeance. It seems I'm being called away. Headmaster's work is never done. Well, we are not expelled. Is it just me, or did Dumbledore know more than he let on? If he did, we'd be packing our bags right now. We are in the clear. What do you think? I reckon he knows something's up. But he may not want to not be absolutely certain. No more blabbing about the so-called Kahana layoff. It's not Darkos' fault that we ended up here. All we can do now is move forward for one. And we find Wickpick and put a stop to all once and for all. We can tell Dumbledore the truth later. Where do you go? Where do you go if you want to learn more about dangerous things? To the restricted section. There she is, all that stands between us and our research into dangers of romping willows, and it's connected to the Dark Wizard cable. Looks like she could be an evil cable. Look at her sunken cheeks, skin like parchment. Sometimes I think Pince might be the meanest witch at Hogwarts. You think it's Zamilda? Why not me? You always claim to be the most powerful witch, not the meanest. Wickpick is not only the meanest, she's dangerous, and the reason we're all here. She used both my brother and me for her evil plans. We need to beat her and to the final coast vault and vanquish Wickpick once and for all. So let's figure out how to sneak past Pince. In the past, students have used creatures or pranks to distract Pince. So what can we do to get past Pince this time? Still posting on those rules, order and gruff demeanor. Let's try peeling to her kinder side. So maybe if we all fire off questions to her about her own likes and dislikes, she'll get befoodled, and then we can toss a distraction her way, and once she's gone, we sneak into the restrictions section. The library is a place for quiet and study, not nattering on. What you do, pupil? Of course, we all do. Hogwarts is first and foremost a school, and the library is the heart of a school, which makes you the protector of the heart. What could be more potent? Still, it's shameful the way people disrespect the sanctity of the library. What do you hate the most, or even like most, about your work in the library? We are grateful to you for sharing your love of rules and extreme dislike of rule breakers, though you do look a bit of out of sorts. I must admit, I'm a bit befuddled and surprised that you took an interest. Then this might be a bad time to mention that while we were talking, saw someone writing in the margins of a book behind you. Saw someone carrying some pumpkin juice near the encyclopedias. Toss these potential desecrators out myself and wait quick. That was a great idea. Madam Pince was so befuddled she didn't even think about leaving us here alone. How close we are to the restricted section. Crikey, don't go soft on us now, and either way, the coast is clear. Let's go to the restricted section. Right, just gotta check there's no event or replay. Okay, no event. Good. Look at all these books. We have been in here looking for a while already. We haven't found anything that connects the Wampin Willow with dangerous organizations like our own. But how do we even know what you read in Flourish and Plots connected the Willow to NR was accurate? It couldn't be nothing than some crazy author's theory. If we waste our time chasing false leads, we are risking Rickpick getting to the vault before us. Wouldn't offer a book unless she believed it was legitimate. But for all we know, it could still be white rubbish. You want to ignore our only lead? Maybe you want to just act you're not the only one who wants to avenge Warren. All three of us are founders, so let's have it out to it here. Then bring your best, because I'm ready. Suspicious. Well, at least we are clear on our different views now, but we still need a sign to help decide what to do next. I may have found something. Does it explain how ours using the Wampin Willow? Take a look. I don't get it. These are just some old student notes on the best roads for wands and broomsticks. They have everything to do with it, that's why I'm showing you. I recognize it's Hannah Ayton. These belong to Warren. I always hated the way he dotted his I's. I quite like that. Warren was original. Maybe I'm keen on the flourish after all. What do you miss the most about Warren? Warren loved bigger than all of us, maybe. You can try to act tough, but we all know you loved Warren back. Warren is who we are doing this all for. We can't lose sight of that, not for a second. Which is why we need to avenge our friend and beat Rickpick to the final vault. We have learned all we can about it from Spout, the bookstore, and even here. But the Willow is dangerous, and Warren would want us to be safe. But what else can we do to prepare? Well, to find my brother, if we are going to the Willow, I need Jacob's help. Time to call in the cavalry. Let's see if Jacob can help me protect myself against the Wampin Willow Vermilius. Has something happened? Something's always happening. And her dark wizard Cable R. I told you to leave Wakepick to me. She's my responsibility. Ever since you were a nipple, you have never listened. You are more stubborn than an abrasion. I'm the one who started this whole mess with Wakepick. Why won't you back off and let me deal with this alone? Because it'll take both of us to win against Wakepick. So let's compromise. We both keep fighting against her. If you stop her, that's brilliant, but I can't quit trying either. I learned it from you. I'm supposed to be the big brother here. Looks like you have grown up a lot since I was gone. Let's just say I won't stand in your way. The truth is, you looked for me when no one else even bothered, and you didn't hesitate to free me when you found me either. She's better because we found her in time, and I'm glad she came when I called tonight. You came. I'm here for you, so tell me. So it turns out the Willow may be a message exchange center for the darkest organizations of the Wizarding world. If you go to the willow, you'll be romped and stomped for sure. What good is finding a clue if you're crushed before you can use it? I'm betting I can use the shield charm to protect me while I find what I need, and was hoping you'd practice with me. How many witches and wizards came and conjure a proper shield charm? Did she now? Look at that little Pip, you're full of surprises. It was long before I knew she was the only using me because she needed legilimens. And you're betting that Wickpick once taught it to me for the same reasons. You're spot on, and I bet I'm better at it than you are. We'll see. Protecto. That's good, but now imagine that I'm the Wampin Willow and I'm coming right at you. Send your shield directly at me and you'll block the branch with more accuracy. Protect, go. I'm strong, but I'm no Willow. Concentrate, Pip. This could save your life again. Brilliant, I'm impressed. Reminds me of casting spells in our yard back home. We were good even then, but even stronger now. You lot may be strong, but I'm the strongest. Guilty as charged, but not sorry at all, even though following you sometimes gets your so-called friends killed. Could save both our necks. I can't believe Wickpick taught it to you and not me. Long enough to know that you and your brother both know the shield charm from our ex-professor. Don't sell yourself short. Something tells me you're a greater master of magic than your lesser sibling here. Besides, you still owe me a duel from when I last saw you in Nocturne Alley. Nothing worth learning is. Good thing I'm the most powerful witch at Hogwarts. Fine, then less talking, more teaching. I got your message, but I don't appreciate being summoned. Mila called an emergency meeting. What for? What's going on? You're the one with all the secrets, so why don't you guess? You're still ignoring that I met with Jacob to practice the shield charm and wanted to tell the group about it. I did tell the group about your training and that you learned extra skills from Wickpick. That will be helpful when we all go looking for clues and connections to all. You want this whole group to go, all of them? We are in this together, aren't we? I don't need a babysitter, and if Mila goes, I go. If anyone here goes, I'll go because I was invaded. Then I'm going to have to heal them because I'm not sure. It's brilliant that you all care so much. I appreciate the reasons you have offered. But the Willow will detect the big group right away, then we'll get romped and hurt for sure. Now if you teach us all the shield charm. It's a hard spell, you're really all skilled, and even you couldn't even get it last night. So obviously it's something only Professor should teach. The way Professor Wickpick taught you, well, it turns out she can't do that anymore on account of her being a homicidal maniac. So now we are stuck with you as a teacher, which is rubbish, but what choice do we have? It's for our own protection at the Willow. So you're going to teach us that charm now, and then we are going to use it whether anyone likes it or not. Are you now? So it seems Dumbledore was right. We have to keep an eye on this lot, especially you and Snide and Dan. Professor Dumbledore knows about our meeting. Yes, this is a support group. Dumbledore encouraged us to get together and chat to each other about our feelings. But I know your students, and I know Albus Dumbledore. He didn't encourage you to participate in unsanctioned spell learning or casting after hours. So whatever you had planned, consider it cancelled. You are headed back to the same place your day started to face the consequences. We'll see if the two win leaders can weasel your way out of this one. I caught a whole group of them in the training grounds, but these two were the win leaders. They were talking about getting into all kinds of trouble. I heard them mention the shield charm too, and from the way Snide was all bothered and nattering on, they intend to use it for more than practice. You should let me hang them by the wrists from the ceiling in my office. I have something else in mind. That will be all. Pity they let the old punishments die out. I know Flinch is grumpy, but is he serious about those chains? You should be more concerned about what I'm thinking. Obviously, it's time we had another talk. Shall I speak first, or would you prefer to try to explain what you have been up to instead? Perhaps you should go first. Not feeling particularly confessional, eh? That's a bit disappointing. Nevertheless, Mr. Flinch said you were meeting with your friends to talk about getting into trouble. But I suspect there's more going on than you perhaps shared. Circle's about dealing with what happened to Owen. For all of us, that's not a lie. That you are dealing with your grief. What happened to Owen was traumatic. When you conjugated this evening, it became clear my suspicions were correct. So you had us followed. That's not exactly a sign of trust. Pot and the kettle, you just did the same thing to me. Bickering amongst yourself won't help your cause. You're not being forthcoming when I gave you the chance earlier was disappointing, and could deter my ability to trust you again anytime soon. Pursuing pearls, best left to the adults, and the shield charm specifically suggests you must be looking to get into some kind of altercation. Give us a chance to explain ourselves. We miss Rowan and want to make sure we do everything we can to protect ourselves. That's why we are talking about the shield charm. We hope you understand. But I'm repeatedly and deeply concerned by your actions. The incident demonstrates that you still haven't learned to heed my warnings. And I won't have you encouraging other students to join your dangerous games. You really are expelling us this time. To have you both have you at Hogwarts where I can keep an eye on you. So I'll be sending you somewhere that I can be sure you'll have more time to focus on helping out at Hogwarts. You will be spending time in the detention and you are going there together. Great, detention. Oh, chapter 29 complete. Journey to the Wampin Willow. A clue that could finally have put you face to face with all. Jesus, this year goes by so slow. And yet we're already